Good morning, travelers. Tara here, Hidden Lotus Tarot, and I'm coming to you today with an elemental water sign. So this reading will be for the water signs of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces for February 2017. Please keep in mind that this is a general reading and the messages will not resonate with everyone. In order to gain insight into your personal situation, it requires a personal reading. I am available for readings 6 days a week. My turnaround time is typically between 48 to 72 hours. I do ask that before you submit any payment or fill out the booking form, that you go over to the tab on the left-hand side, the menu on the left-hand side. You can go to readings by phone. There is a tab there that says important information on booking. I ask that you please read that first before you pay or book, because that explains to you how I conduct the readings and what information I need from you. If you want a video reading, there's a separate tab for that. It's different from the phone reading, so just read what's on the page there on the video readings, and that'll tell you what you need to know. Let's see. I would like to thank you for your patience and your cooperation while I'm getting the membership up and running. Yesterday, I finally was able to get a hold of those little naughty head developers, and I had to threaten to revoke my payment to them. And they came in and they actually went in and adjusted all of the settings for me. So you should be able to go over, select your membership level, and make your payment without any issue. And hopefully go ahead and log in through the login details that are sent to you. If you do have any issues, I please ask that you email me and let me know. As well, I am adding more content slowly but surely. I spent really 2 days messing around with the payment gateways, so I'm behind schedule. I don't know. So those of you that are waiting on the astrology video, I'm going to try to get that up to you no later than Thursday, because I know you guys are waiting. So please just kind of bear with me. I'm only one person and I am hosting my site myself. So all of the technical support and issues, these are things that I'm having to work myself. And I was around when the first computer came out and there wasn't even no stinking internet. All we could do was look at the box, the computer, and watch Pong on it. So I'm having to teach myself and learn fairly quickly about coding and HTML and how things work. So just kind of bear with me, and I do appreciate your patience. We're going to go ahead and get started with the reading. I do want to let you know that by the time you finish this video, this elemental air, the individual air sign, individual water, the individual water sign videos will be posted over under the members area for those of you who have membership. So, we're going to go ahead and lay the cards. I do have the Radiant White with me, the Sibilas. I have both Sibila decks, as well as the Neapolitans and the Angel Answer cards. I haven't been using the Neapolitans much. The cards have been kind of clear. They were on the individual readings. Hopefully what you can do is view this and then get over into the member area and view the individual sign if it pertains to you. Do know that I'm going to post up the elemental fire and elemental earth within the next, what's today, Tuesday? By Thursday, I don't know. So the astrological videos, maybe by Friday, I don't know. We'll just see how that goes. I finally got the gateways working, payment gateways working yesterday, only to have the host site, who's hosting my site, go down. So I was like, man, I can't win for losing. So, all right, here we go. Elemental water, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces for February 2017. Here we go. 5 of Wands, the Judgment card, the Star card, 10 of Cups, 8 of Cups, and the Hierophant. Wow, I have 2 Venus cards right on top of each other. That is the Star and the Hierophant. Knight of Swords, the Chariot, and the Six of Cups. Underneath the deck, I have the Ten of Wands. Now, for those of you who are not familiar, first of all, I'd like to welcome any new subscribers that have come over to the YouTube channel. If you plan on joining the membership, I would welcome you there as well. So for those of you who do not know about how the tarot works, it's divided into two sections. The first section is 22 cards known as the major arcana. They are numbered 0 through 21, but the 0 card is kind of not counted, but it makes it 22. And these cards are our life lessons and spiritual lessons. So these are going to be the cards like Judgment, the Star, the Hierophant, and the Chariot. Okay. Now, the second group are known as the Pip cards. And the Pip cards are our numbered cards. So these are going to be the Five of Wands, the Ten of Cups, the Eight of Cups. The Pip cards also include the Court cards. So these are going to be our pages, knights, kings, and queens. Okay. And there's our Six of Cups. Now, within the spread itself, I do not have any repeater numbers. Okay. I have, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10. Our focus card, the way the cards are read, this is past, present, and future. Oh, let me put that down for you. Past, present, and future. Past, present, and future. And then the interplay of the cards. So our focus in the center is this Eight of Cups. Now, the Eight of Cups is a card about not being happy emotionally or spiritually with what you already have. This card can sometimes represent not being thankful or grateful for the things that you do have, but mostly it can represent that something in your life is no longer serving your highest good. So it is about walking away from things that you care about, leaving those things behind. Now, the most important feature of this card is that this is the only eclipsed moon in the deck. This month, on February both 12th and then again on the 26th, we're going to be having eclipses. Now, these eclipses are going to be running all for 2017 across the Aquarius-Leo axis. Leo represents the self. Aquarius represents groups, okay? So this card, the Star card, does represent Aquarius and Venus. So I think in one respect, one of the messages that I'm getting is that some of you, there's going to be a change most definitely coming through on around the eclipses, okay? I do have a eclipse and retrograde survival guide over on the site. It does require the membership, but it's a great guide if you're already there to go ahead and read it, because it can give you some ideas about things that could possibly happen around the eclipse. And it's also going to depend on your chart factors in your birth chart. So that's why I have you guys, those of you who have joined, go ahead and create your birth chart so you can see if you've got Aquarius or Leo factors, and depending on what degrees they sit and what degrees that the eclipses occur, then there going to be is possibly some change. But what happens with eclipses is that eclipses hide things. Okay, so there's typically going to be a person or situation involved in the midst of this eclipse, and you're not going to have all of the information that you're going to need in order to make an informed decision. So most people will tell you around eclipses, don't make any decisions, major decisions, or quick, hasty decisions, because typically when they occur around eclipses, they are final. So with that being said, I can see that for some of you water sign individuals, that there's been a lot of, I'm going to say, the Wands cards represent your ambition, your fighting spirit, your desire, your passion. So I kind of look at this like an emotional card. But this card can be about being embroiled in a lot of bickering and fighting. This could be a lot of people in a group together, each one trying to get their own opinion across. This card typically represents outside influences that come in and kind of disrupt things. Fives speak to changes. This can sometimes be fighting like children, or it could be about, fights over children and arguments over children. I do see that I have the Judgment card here. And the Judgment card is, this can be about a legal issue in one respect, but typically in its most simplistic form, the Judgment card is all about a cycle trying to end, all right? And it is about being called to a new life, a new way of living. As you can see, these people are dead, and the angel has come along now, and he's blowing the horn, and he has raised them up from whatever level they've been at. And he's raising them up because the news is, you know, I'm bringing something new to you. This is about to end, and you're going to have to, you know, get used to a new change, a new way of living. You can see that we have the flag there attached to the horn. And I usually see that as a message that, you know, help is on the way, news is on the way. This can also represents, this flag also represents, is the country flag of Switzerland. And I always bring that up in case you're dealing with somebody foreign. Okay. But this is about being called to a new way of life, and it is a drastic change. Now, I do feel that for some of you, this is occurring because of the quote unquote timing. And this is the astrological timing. In other words, there could be planets and points that are being triggered. Maybe there's the synastry between you and this group of people, or you and one person, and that's causing, and things are being triggered. And so there's a lot of discombobulation around it. And someone is saying, you know what? I can't do that anymore. I'm going to have to move on to another level. I can no longer deal with this. This card is about hope and peace and optimism and renewal. And I would say, I would venture to guess that if this Judgment comes through, where you finally recognize that I'm going to have to get myself out of this particular situation some way, somehow, the Star card tells you to maintain that because you're going to need it. It is also the card about showing yourself as you truly are. As you can see, that person is naked, okay? And that person is able to maintain their own cups. You see, she's continually drawing water from the pool, and she's pouring it out in the 5 directions: north, south, east, west, and the center. So this is about being able to flow from a pure source of energy, to try to maintain your center of energy, and try not to let whatever outside circumstances are coming in deflate you. So it is about trying to be positive and maintain that positive energy. I do feel that for some of you, this may be, I have this 10 of Cups. And the 10 of Cups is basically the card of extreme emotional contentment. This is being very, very happy. Okay, as you can see, there's the couple and the children there. And I do feel in some sense that this card has to do with a familial situation. And 10s are a transitory energy. It is the end of a cycle. Okay. And the next step is going to be the Ace of Cups. It's going to start all over again. And that's typically what happens. We go from one situation. That situation ultimately comes to an end. Not always a good end, but, you know, things always come to an end. And then we begin something new. Again, we just have the new moon this weekend in Aquarius. So new moons are always a great time to end something and begin something new. Now, I do see that for some of you, this card in its negative aspect can be there, that you have an illusion around what this scene represents. Some of you may have been thinking that, you know, to have the husband or the wife and the 2.5 kids and the house and the vacation and all of that stuff is really what being happy is all about. But this can be an illusion, and that's why those 10 cups are in the rainbow there, okay? We can see that someone has decided to walk away from this. It goes from a 10 to an 8. So now that leaves 2 cups. So in a sense, that's kind of telling me on the back end that this is either a marriage or a committed relationship that this could be about. And if not, it's really just a family issue, okay? And that somebody's walking away from this. Now, I have the Hierophant here, and both the Star and the Hierophant cards, this represents Aquarius, but it also represents Venus. And Venus is all about having self-worth, self-esteem, self-love. It deals with money, banking, your movable possessions, things that you own, the money that you earn for yourself. And we can see that someone is actually leaving this particular scene and they're walking into this Hierophant. So in one respect, this could be about someone who may be leaving a familial or romantic or committed relationship situation because really it's no longer serving them the best way, for them. There's something lacking in it. But at the same time, they're kind of moving into uh, the energy of really getting to know themselves and showing themselves as they truly are. The Hierophant also represents structures in terms of hierarchical structures. So this could be churches, universities, institutions, the military. He also rules marriages. So this could even be that some of you may be leaving a marriage or committed relationship to move into another marriage or committed relationship. All right. And maybe that's what the fighting is all about, because you just got news from somebody that you hadn't heard from in a long time. I do have this Knight of Swords here, and the Knight of Swords, Knights typically bring messages, okay? But at the same time, I always look at the Knights like an event. And what I'm looking at is this is something that he's coming from this direction. This would be the future, and this is the past. So this is literally something rushing into the scene. Some kind of news or some kind of message coming into the scene. He's coming in at a very rapid pace. And I do feel that whatever this news or this message or this event was, it could be highly related to this. This may be the cause of this, okay? Someone coming in and disrupting this particular scene here, or someone getting news that disrupts this scene right here. Now, I see that I have the Chariot here. And the Chariot is a major arcana card. It is all about being focused and being determined and being able to harness the masculine and the feminine, the good and the bad, so that you can focus on the direction in which you need to go. As you can see, we have the two Sphinxes there. That's representative of the yin and the yang, the light and the dark. You can see that he has absolutely no reins, but yet he's still driving that chariot. And if you want to look at it from in its most simplistic, the chariot is a war vehicle. So in other words, it's not going to be something that's comfortable, but it's going to get you to where you want to go. And you just got to figure out how to keep it in the road and steer it in the right direction. But he also has the moon glyphs on his shoulder and the canopy of stars over his head. So again, this kind of tells me that this has something to do perhaps with the astrological timing of it. The wings on the front typically to me always represent Mercury, the god. He's got the wings on his helmet and he's got the wings on his shoes. So he is the messenger of the gods. And as you can see, they're kind of attached to each other. Now, this card represents Gemini, and Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So this could be something on the order that Mercury just came out of its shadow direct phase on January 28th, just a few days ago. And we did have the full moon in Aquarius come in on the same day. So this could be you receiving some kind of news. And now that whatever that news is, it's giving you the impetus to move forward with whatever your plans are. Now, I do see it ends with this Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups is the card of childhood and of nostalgia. It is the card of kindness. It is the card of being open to love like children. Okay, and loving like children. There it is. This card is also known in some circles as the soulmate card. Now, I always like to be careful using that, because soulmate relationships are not the kind of relationships where we jump on the back of the white horse and ride off into the sunset. In the movies, nobody ever tells us what happens after that scene closes. We don't know if they end up fighting like cats and dogs or what. But soulmate relationships are never, no matter how tough they are never really about the other person. They are always about you. And so the soulmate, their main purpose and role is for them to come in and reflect back those things that you need to work on. Okay. And that's why they can be so tough sometimes. See, that's kind of like a reflecting pool. It's about showing yourself as you truly are and getting to know yourself as you truly are. And deciding that no matter what you find out about yourself, it is still all about learning to love and accept yourself. Okay. But that's what soulmate relationships do. It is the exact mirror of yourself. So if you tend to be very fearful about something and you're in a relationship with somebody and that person triggers all of that fear in you, you're being asked to look at why you're so fearful. Why does what this person say or do or the way they behave, why does that trigger those reactions in you? All right. Now, I'm looking at the diagonal here, and I can see that for some of you, you really do, the fighting perhaps has just become too much, and really all you want is peace. Okay. Another thing about soulmate relationships is that they are not always meant to end in romance. Okay. 9 times out of 10, they don't. Sometimes they do. But for the most part, it's really a way to learn how to grow spiritually so that you can be the best self that you can be. For others of you, I'm looking at this row of the Knight of Swords, because this card not only represents Gemini, but it represents communities and neighborhoods. It also represents siblings, okay? And I do have this card here. So some of you may, something may be occurring where you're going to have to, get back with your sibling. Maybe some of you have been fighting with your siblings, okay? And the cards are kind of saying, that's enough of that now. And we really need to get back to the basics because our values are all the same. He's about values, not only about self-values, but the values that you share and you pass on to others. You can see the 2 acolytes there at the base, and there's some secret knowledge there. So this could be about perhaps some of you maybe coming back together if you've been estranged from siblings or other family members, you coming back together with them to try to bring about some peace and harmony. Maybe something has occurred in the family. It could be something from the past or something that is just occurring now, in which you're going to be required to really kind of forgive and look at the lessons that you learned about whatever this conflict was. We have it here. And for some of you, this could be about you may have to move back to your childhood home. Now, if that is not the case, then what I'm looking at is perhaps indeed someone from your past coming back. But at the same time, there's more work to be done. And I say that because I have the overall energy of the 10 of Wands. Again, it is a 10 like this one. So this tells me that whatever struggles that you've been going through, these are about to come to an end. But it may require that you stick to your values. But you're going to have to stick to those values from a place of self-truth, self-honesty, and love, and being transparent about it, and come from a place of love and compassion. So this may mean that you might have to give up something that you care about quite dearly in order to move through this particular space and energy, okay? As you can see, he's got those 10 wands in front of him, and there's that house there, okay? And he's just kind of putting one foot in front of the other. Sometimes I've seen this card show up when people feel as if they're shouldering all of the burden in a relationship. Well, take a look at why that is. And if somebody's been putting all the burden on you and you've been accepting it, well, you got nobody to blame but yourself. You see what I'm saying? It's about loving yourself and valuing and honoring yourself. Look, you're going to have to pull your weight in this crap too. But also this says that if he really wants to lighten that load that he's carrying and free up the space in front of him so that he can actually see where he's going, he can either decide to drop some of those things, or he can simply divide those in half and carry them on each side. We go from a 5 all the way to a 10 though. So it could be that as you're trying to move through this, it could escalate. The darkest before the dawn, it's going to be worse before it gets better, that kind of a thing. So let's pull some Sabilas on this. This is pretty right here. The Star over to the 10 of Cups and the 6 of Cups. And for some of you, maybe you've been waiting for someone to return from your past into your life. And, this is the hope that you've always had to have with that person. Well, perhaps you may get that. And then for others of you here, I see there is going to be some kind of fight over what's the right thing to do. Okay? And this could literally be some kind of legal news coming in. All right? Because again, he rules, doing the right thing, but hierarchy. So this is courts, things of that nature, marriages, any places where there's contracts. So, it could literally be that right around the eclipse, if you've been waiting on some kind of news that's going to allow you to go forward, It's going to be coming in perhaps around or between the eclipses. And I would suppose what the cards are really saying is that you're going to have to try at this particular point in time to kind of try to make peace and kind of tough it out while you're waiting. And know that if something comes to an end around that time, then perhaps it was meant to end. That's always much easier said than done. I've been there. I've done that before. So we're going to take a look at this Five of Wands. We're going to look at this Eight of Cups. And we're going to look at this Ten of Wands. Now, because this is a general reading for all three water signs, this situation could involve any number of people. It could be fire sign people. It could be earth sign people. It could be air sign people. It could be another water sign. Okay. But ultimately, really, the situation, no matter what situation it is and on what side of the line that you find yourself, you are always the most important person in whatever this is. Okay. And this, like I said, it could be fights over children. Maybe some of you have been fighting and you had to walk away and leave your kids behind. This card says that there could be a reconciliation or reunion with your kids coming up. So, you know, just kind of tough it out and wait a little bit because this cycle is coming to an end. It is. It's a 10. So how you handle yourself and whatever decisions you make now. And when I say soon, you know, there is no timing in the tarot. So, you know, don't be emailing me asking me, well, when? You know, there's no timing in the tarot. That's why I speak of divine timing. All things happen when they're supposed to. And we are coming out of this Mercury retrograde, so there probably have been delays around receiving some information. And there have been, you know, a lot of arguments and tension over that. So just kind of try to keep that in mind and maintain your positive attitude and your hope and your faith, you know, and just try to tough it out. So let's go ahead and take a look at this Five of Wands here to see what this card's trying to tell us. I'm going to get a good shuffle on these. I do feel that for some of you, you are going to be moving, or you've been wanting to move, or whatever this, once this situation clears itself up, if you've been wanting to move but you had to wait, that you will be able to move forward with that. And this could be talking about the stress of moving. I don't know about you, but moving sucks. It sucks, you know. What's interesting to me is that there are no coins here. So I do not feel that this is a work-related issue. There's a lot of emotion in this. With these cup cards here. Here, this represents Cancer. So that, in a sense, Cancer rules the moon. This is the fourth house. This is about mothers, the people and the places that hold you, what you need, how you nurture and mother other people, and how you feel, how you need to be nurtured and loved and mothered. You know, what does it take for you to feel safe? That's what Cancer represents. So I have, in effect, two moon cards here. One is an eclipsed moon, and the other one is just the moon. There he's got the two moons. And it could come between the new waning moon and waxing moon, or the first quarter moon and the other half of the quarter moon. I don't even know what I'm talking about, but y'all know what I mean. Okay, so, but definitely I am sensing that there's going to be something that occurs around these eclipses. Eclipses can be completely life-changing. I'm trying to see if I see, I don't see any health indicators coming out, because you do want to watch your health around eclipses, particularly if the eclipses are falling on your factors. I had an eclipse on my birthday last year. I didn't know if I was going to wake up 20 years old or white. I didn't know what was going on, or if I was even going to wake up. So, so you want to, you know, that eclipse and survival guide thing will really help you out a lot. And that came over from Susan Miller at Astrology Zone. All right, Five of Wands. Fortune, Fortuna, or the Wheel of Fortune. Gran consolazione. This is success achieved after a long time. Donna maritata. Okay, the married woman with children. This actually speaks to respect for a married woman. or if not a married woman, a mother or someone in a nurturing capacity or mothering capacity. Now we can see that there's been some delays, arguments, fights, obstacles, hassles, whatnot going on surrounding this particular situation. I think what Fortune is telling me, if you know anything about Fortuna, the Roman goddess, she's always depicted as being blindfolded and steering the wheel of a ship. So in other words, this could be about a force coming in from outside that you really have no control over, that is now changing things. That's what the Wheel of Fortune does. It changes things. And these are things that you literally have no control over. And this, I feel, is causing some type of issue in a very successful, perhaps, relationship, okay, or marriage. Now, we are in the Jupiter and Libra cycle. Jupiter brings lots of opportunities. Libra wants balance, harmony, and fairness. But what also happens when Jupiter is in Libra is that it will bring about multiple relationships. And so some of these multiple relationships may be good and some of them may not be good. But Libra rules partnerships. So this is business partnerships, romantic partnerships, and those one-to-one partnerships that you have with people like your best friends and family, things of that nature. Okay, now let's take a look at the Judgment card and see what this is trying to tell us. No, I wanted to look at the Eight of Cups. I'm sorry. We're going to look at that and see what that's trying to tell us. You know, and maybe maybe what the cards are telling me is that you've been separated from your spouse or your partner. So this applies to same-sex or heterosexual, and maybe you've been separated for a time. And, you know, there may be an opportunity for you to come back together. I don't know. That, again, depends upon your personal situation. Well, how odd is this? Someone walking away from something that they cared about deeply. And typically when I see, what strikes me the most about this card, and you will hear me say this over and over about this card, is that person walks away in the middle of the night and they don't take anything with them. Just the stick that they need to tap ahead of them so that they can see exactly where they're going. Because as we know, with the moon and the full moon and even eclipses, we're not able to see clearly in the light of the full moon. It can be bright, but things are not the same. They're not illuminated like the sun. And because this is an eclipsed moon, that figure walking away with that stick says that, you know, you're going to have to tread very carefully around this eclipse because you're not going to be able to see perhaps your way clear. Things might be not as they seem or appear to be. And so the three cards that I have, the letter, remember, I'm saying there could be some news coming in, okay, or you've been waiting on it. And then we have the consolante sorpresa, and this is the consolation. So whatever news this is, it wasn't news that you really wanted to hear, but if you stop and think about it, it's not all bad. Allegrezza al cuore, this is the happiness of the heart. Here we have someone walking away from something that they loved, but yet we're looking at happiness of the heart. So this could be literally about gaining your freedom from a situation. And maybe right now you don't see it that way, or maybe you feel completely liberated. You know, maybe there was a bit of sadness, but you know what? In the end, because I'm walking away to find my own happiness here, in the end, okay, I will be happy about it. I don't like the way the situation went down and I don't like the way it turned out. But, you know, ultimately, if I keep my hopes up, you know, and maintain that positive attitude and focus myself in the right manner, you know, this could turn out okay for me. Now, let's take a look at this 10 of Wands. And then we're going to pull an angel answer card. So for those of you water signs that this did not resonate with, or you did not have a question answered, perhaps the angel answer will give you not only an answer, but it may give you a bit of advice of what you should or should not do. Maybe it will just give you some consolation and a little bit of peace of mind. And you can't put a price tag on that. Okay? Here we go. The 10 of Wands. And this is the overall energy. So this tells me that whatever this situation really is all about, and it could be about many things to many different people, that, you know, it's just a struggle right now, but nothing lasts forever. That's the wheel of fortune, Fortuna. And what may seem like a bad situation may actually turn out to be the best thing that's ever happened to you. Why? Because there's an ending, and this is a complete and total separation from a situation. That's the death card. But as we know with the death card, it is also a transformation. When our bodies die away on this plane, when our bodies pass away, our souls transcend. They turn into another energy. So it is never an ending. It is a complete transformation. Okay. There's the Bambino, a new transformation. Okay. And then we have Amore, the love card. So like I was saying, this could be seriously that some of you are trying to get over a breakup, and you're just know, I feel that you are at the end of whatever your struggle is emotionally, if that's the case. So just try to hang in there. And I do feel that with this Amore card falling in the future position, that this says that there's a new love on the way. You see, we go from a 10 of cups to the 8 of cups. That leaves us the 2 of cups. And that is the relationship of balance and harmony. It's about meeting your match. Now, on the off chance that this is speaking, perhaps maybe some of you have lost a child in whatever capacity. I do feel that this is saying that eventually, know, first of all, that that child is in a better place, that this is a struggle for you now, but that if you choose perhaps to have another child, eventually that you will be able to. I don't like to ever say things like that because we really don't know what the ultimate plan or design is for ourselves. But I don't know why I was guided to say that. I never say things like that because I don't like to say things to people and then they come back and go, well, you said this, you know, it's going to depend. And that's the truth of the matter. So please don't get angry if you want to trying to have another baby and it doesn't happen for you right now. Why? Maybe because the timing is not right. Okay. So let's pull an angel answer card. To me, it definitely says the end of one struggle and the beginning of a new love. And however you want to look at that. Okay. There are many ways to have new love. And I think the most important love that one can ever have is love of self. And I don't mean that in a narcissistic, selfish kind of a way. You see, when you can love yourself, okay, then you're more lovable to other people. And we are always most hardest on ourselves. We have a lot of hang-ups and fears and past baggage, you know, that we bring with us into this life. And those things can make us kind of not like ourselves or and think less of ourselves, you know. So it's about learning how to accept yourself truly as who you are, warts and all, and being okay with that. And when you can do that, it makes it easier for other people to love you. But first you have to learn how to love yourself. Because if you don't know how to love yourself, you can't show somebody how to love you. All right. Just loving somebody is not enough. You have to be able to show the person what you need within the relationship. Okay. Now, for those of you that this did not answer the question, please, right now, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these a little bit more. Formulate the question in your mind. And as I say, maybe you might get your answer with this. Some advice on how to proceed or not to proceed, or just a little bit of solace and consolation. Okay. I think if some of you are waiting for a new relationship to come in, I think really that it will happen for you. It could be somebody from your past. Really, it could. You know, the one that got away. So, here we go. It says helpful people. So if you're struggling right now, going through a tough time, remember I was talking to you about this. You know, you can divide this in half. The old people say a burden shared is a burden halved. Okay. So if you need to talk to somebody, because he can represent a counselor, then, you know, by all means, talk to those people who are going to have that love and compassion for you and won't be judgmental of you, because he can be very judgmental when he wants to be. Okay. And so that's what I have for you. Water signs for February 2017. And thank you so much. Have a great day and namaste.